stressed out? If you want to know how to prevent stress from taking over your life and rob you of a fulfilled life, then you should learn about mindfulness. Stress is not just a unique problem, everyone has it, including famous people. Hence, even them, they have their own mindfulness routine. In the succeeding clips, I will show you a technique that you can use and improve your well-being. I will also show you examples of mindfulness routine famous people follows. You do not want to miss this video. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and stressed. We're constantly bombarded with information, deadlines, and expectations, leaving little time for rest and relaxation. However, there is a growing movement towards mindfulness, which encourages us to slow down, focus on the present moment, and cultivate a greater sense of awareness and well-being. So the question we need to ask is, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the practice of being present and fully engaged in the current moment, without judgment or distraction.
Ooh.
It involves paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations, and becoming more aware of our own mental and emotional states. Mindfulness can help us manage stress, improve our relationships, and enhance our overall sense of well-being. The following below are examples of mindfulness activities that you can practice in real life. Mindful eating.
Ooh.
One way to practice mindfulness is through mindful eating. Instead of rushing through meals or eating on the go, take the time to fully engage with your food. Notice the colors, textures, and smells of the food, and pay attention to the taste and sensation of each bite.
Ooh.
By slowing down and savoring your food, you can cultivate a greater sense of appreciation and enjoyment, and become more attuned to your own hunger and fullness cues. Mindful breathing. Another way to practice mindfulness is through mindful breathing. Take a few moments each day to focus on your breath, noticing the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body.
Ooh.
When your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to your breath. By doing this, you can increase your sense of calm and focus, and reduce feelings of anxiety or stress. Mindful movement. Mindful movement is another way to practice mindfulness. This can include activities such as yoga, tai chi, or walking meditation. By paying attention to the movements of your body, and the sensations of your breath, you can become more grounded and centered, and develop a greater sense of physical and emotional balance. Mindful listening. Mindful listening is another way to practice mindfulness. This involves being fully present and engaged when communicating with others, without distractions or preconceptions. By listening attentively to what others have to say, and focusing on their words and body language, you can enhance your relationships and improve your communication skills. Mindful self-compassion. Mindful self-compassion is another important aspect of mindfulness. This involves being kind and supportive towards yourself, and acknowledging your own thoughts and feelings without judgment. By practicing self-compassion, you can reduce feelings of self-criticism and shame, and cultivate a greater sense of self-acceptance and well-being. Mindfulness in the workplace. Many workplaces are now incorporating mindfulness practices into their daily routines. This can include activities such as mindful breathing exercises, mindful meetings, and mindful breaks. By creating a more mindful workplace, employers can reduce stress and burnout, improve communication and collaboration, and increase employee satisfaction and well-being. Mindfulness in schools. Mindfulness is also being introduced in schools, with teachers using mindfulness practices to help students manage stress, improve focus, and enhance social-emotional skills. By incorporating mindfulness into the classroom, teachers can create a more positive and supportive learning environment and help students develop important life skills. Mindfulness in healthcare. Mindfulness is also being used in healthcare settings, with doctors and nurses using mindfulness practices to reduce stress and improve patient care. By practicing mindfulness, healthcare professionals can cultivate greater empathy and compassion towards their patients, and develop a greater sense of self-care and well-being. Mindfulness in sports. Mindfulness is also being used in sports, with athletes using mindfulness practices to improve their performance and mental focus. By incorporating mindfulness into their training, athletes can reduce stress and anxiety, increase their sense of calm and focus, and enhance their overall performance. Mindfulness in daily life. Mindfulness can also be practiced in our daily lives, whether we're at home, running errands, or spending time with loved ones. By incorporating mindfulness into our daily routines, we can become more present and engaged in the moment, and cultivate a greater sense of gratitude and appreciation for the world around us. We will discuss further real-life benefits of mindfulness. Real-life examples of the benefits of mindfulness. Stress reduction. One of the most well-known benefits of mindfulness is stress reduction. By practicing mindfulness, we can reduce feelings of anxiety and overwhelm, and develop greater resilience and coping skills in the face of stress. According to Hans Selye, stress is not necessarily a bad thing. Pathologic conditions arises to the bodily reaction to stress, which he discussed in detail in his gas theory, or general adaptation syndrome. We will leave a link in the description below if you want to dig deeper about this theory, and you can also let us know if you want us to discuss the topic of the gas theory. Hence, it is important to find ways to de-stress. Improved mental health. Mindfulness has also been shown to improve mental health, with research indicating that it can reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. By cultivating greater awareness and acceptance of our own thoughts and emotions, we can reduce feelings of self-criticism and improve our overall mental well-being. Increased focus and productivity. Mindfulness has also been shown to improve focus and productivity, with research indicating that it can enhance cognitive function and working memory. By practicing mindfulness, we can reduce distractions and increase our ability to concentrate, leading to improved productivity and performance. Better relationships. Mindfulness can also improve our relationships with others, by helping us become more attuned to the needs and feelings of those around us. By practicing mindful listening and communication, we can improve our communication skills and cultivate more supportive and positive relationships. Mindfulness is a powerful practice that can improve our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. By incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives, we can reduce stress, improve our relationships, and enhance our overall sense of well-being. Whether we're practicing mindful breathing, mindful eating, or mindful movement, mindfulness offers a way to connect with ourselves and the world around us, and cultivate a greater sense of peace and purpose in our lives. We have mentioned previously that we will include mindfulness routines followed by some famous people. In the succeeding clips we will reveal these routines and who are these famous people. But before we do that, we want to introduce this channel and what we do. Are you looking for a daily dose of inspiration to keep you motivated and focused on your goals? Look no further than Hooray for You Hey! Hep hep for me! Our channel is dedicated to providing you with uplifting stories and snippets that will keep you moving forward, no matter what challenges you may face. From personal success stories to powerful quotes and insights, our content is designed to help you stay motivated, stay focused, and stay on track towards achieving your dreams. Whether you're facing a tough day at work or simply need a little extra push to keep going, our channel has everything you need to stay inspired and empowered. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Hooray for You Hey! Hep hep for me today and start your journey towards a more fulfilling, successful life. Let us help you stay motivated and focused every step of the way. Yes! Let us know how you appreciate our content by hitting that like button. Now back to our topic.
Yes!
Here are some examples of mindfulness routines of famous people. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is known for her daily practice of mindfulness and meditation. She spends 20 minutes each morning and evening meditating, which she says helps her to stay focused and centered throughout the day. Here are some excerpts from Oprah Winfrey about mindfulness and meditation.
One of the things I did in next chapter, I went to visit a town called TM Town, and it's in Fairfield, Iowa. Would you imagine that in Fairfield, Iowa, it's a town population about 9,500, a third of the town meditates. So there's a traffic jam in Fairfield, Iowa at 5:30 with mothers and doctors and dentists and lawyers and engineers and clerks and soccer moms all headed to the Dome in Fairfield, Iowa, people who look just like you and me, and they're all there meditating. And in order to prepare to doing that show, I brought the Transcendental Meditationists into Harpo Studios to teach me and my team how to meditate. So we started meditating. 7 of us, 7 led to 70, led to 270, led to now everybody in the company meditates. 9 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the afternoon, no matter what's going on, we stop, we meditate. And that way of being still with ourselves, coming back to the center and recognizing that something is more important than you, it's more important than the work you're doing, it's more important, brings a kind of energy and an intensity of energy, an intention that we've never had before. And you can't imagine what's happened in the company. People who used to have migraines don't, people are sleeping better, people have better relationships, people interact with other people better. It's been fantastic. So the one thing I want to continue to do is to center myself every day and make that a practice for myself, because I am 1,000% better when I do that. 1,000% better when I take myself back to something bigger than myself.
Lebron James. LeBron James, the famous NBA player, is also a big advocate for mindfulness. He has been known to incorporate meditation and mindfulness practices into his training, which he says helps him to stay calm and focused on the court. Here are some excerpts from the king of basketball himself, LeBron James.
He's in
Championship mode.
He's in that calm app
Yep.
that he advertises.
Is there a 1 minute to go in a three-point game meditation that he can do? Probably.
I think he's going to take the free throws.
It truly settles my mind in the most stressful times that I have. The covers that I get, as much scrutiny and as much pressure that can be built up in our sport, and with me personally, to be able to have a gateway and calm to be able to go to that I know that when everything is so heightened, I can get back down the street. So this is the fact that you guys are going to offer this to my kids and my family back home. Thank you. That is that's the emotional side. But no, this is truly when we talk about things that we want to do with our company and our brand, and we have our brainstorming sessions, it has to be organic. We don't do, if you look at anything that I've done over the last 5 to 10 years, you can never look at it and be like, I don't know if that fits. Why will LeBron do that? Why will this team do that? We kind of do things we do things that I actually really use or something I believe in.
Note that we have a separate topic discussing what keeps LeBron James highly motivated in perfecting his craft. Arianna Huffington. Arianna Huffington, the founder of the Huffington Post, is a big proponent of mindfulness in the workplace. She has implemented mindfulness practices at the Huffington Post, including meditation breaks and mindfulness training for employees. Here are some excerpts from Arianna Huffington about mindfulness and meditation.
Like the Greek word eudaimonia, which is really translated into thriving, the human flowering, the flowering of mindfulness. And you said backstage that this is almost like a renaissance.
Yeah.
Everything goes back to the Greeks. Was the question, what is a good life? What is a good life? And then 2 centuries ago, we sort of stopped asking that question. We assumed by default that, of course, a good life is making money and being powerful. And now we are asking ourselves again that question. And John, you've said many times that ever since you were a little child, you asked and you were interested in the big questions. And somehow, after college, we stopped being interested in the big questions, and yet the big questions are really what give life meaning. And I love the fact that we are coming to the realization that all spiritual traditions and religions really ultimately in their esoteric, mystical forms were saying the same thing. The kingdom of God is within. Or as Archimedes, another Greek. But I really think that inner space is so much more fascinating. Actually, I don't know if Albert Lee is here, but at dinner last night, we were talking about that, and he has come up with this idea of moments that matter. And I think the biggest moment that matters in our lives is when we get the first taste, the first glimpse of that space. And then how can we arrange our lives so to keep going back to it? Because from that place, we can truly make a difference in the world.
The Zen people have a way of saying nothing special. Okay, so we don't need to make it into something special because it's already special. And we don't need to make everything extraordinary because the ordinary is already extraordinary. All we need to do is actually get out of our own way and realize it more. And that moment, that sort of moment, the momentous moment, or the mindful moment, or whatever you want to call it, it's always here.
I write in my book about how you really were the first person who helped me understand mindfulness, because at first I was a little confused by it, because I was, being sort of a very mental person, I was always trying to get away from my mind. In fact, I had this voice in my head that I called the obnoxious roommate living in my head, that I was constantly trying to silence, that voice of self-doubt, of putting us down. I was recently on Stephen Colbert's show, and I said to him, Stephen, my obnoxious roommate sounds exactly like you, because it's very, very sardonic. But you explained that mindfulness is really heartfulness, and that it's really a confusion if we just see it as the mind, because it's from the heart that we actually know things otherwise we can't know.
Katy Perry. Katy Perry, the famous singer, has spoken publicly about her daily meditation practice. She has said that meditation helps her to stay focused and creative, and that it has become an essential part of her daily routine. Here are some excerpts from Katy Perry about meditation.
I met you through my ex-husband, Russell Brand. He is an avid meditator, and I learned when I was in India. And but I did think that meditation was more of a religion. Transcendental meditation is not a religion. But the thing is that one thing that I've learned in my whole life that's been the biggest help in my life is meditation. Life can get a little bit crazy, and I am always juggling 1,000 balls at once. Right. And I'm just like anyone else. I'm addicted to my phone. Raise your hand out there if you have your phone.
Bob? No, but it's just for a timer. It's just a timer.
Your phone. I have my phone next to my bed. Yeah. And I would say that, especially when I'm single, but even in a partnership, I'll look at my phone before I look at my partner. Meditation is great for creativity. It's like when I meditate, I get to the real well of creativity. It stirs up all of these creative juices, and I get my best ideas. Yeah. Not only am I awake, but when I'm sleeping, I'm having dreams. Like last night I dreamt that I was hanging out with Selena Gomez. I'm a little bit tired because I had that subconscious dream. TM is a way I found to get the deepest rest. My mind wants to turn off the cell phone. It just wants to go boop, boop, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that while I'm on stage. Right. I don't want to do that while we're in the interview. I don't want to have one of those reboots because I have to. The way that I can give my mind the deepest rest, and also I literally when I meditate, I feel like a halo of a circuit just opening up around my brain, and I feel all of my neural pathways, and some of the ones that were clogged, or some of the ones that had cobwebs on them, they just start to clear. I tell you, anytime I'm crabby, and I can be crabby.
No.
Yeah, because sometimes when you get pulled in 7,000 directions, you just need your own time. Yeah. And sometimes you have to stomp your feet to get it. But I have been crabby many times, and I'll just say, look, I'm in a really bad mood. I need 20 minutes to reset. I come back, my mood has changed.
Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss, the author and entrepreneur, is a big advocate for mindfulness and meditation. He has said that he spends 10 to 20 minutes each morning meditating, which helps him to clear his mind and stay focused throughout the day. Here are some excerpts from Tim Ferriss about meditation.
Sitting and doing a meditative practice for, say, 20 minutes. And it's stuck initially by taking a transcendental meditation class of perhaps 3 days, and I was going through a very, very difficult times. The way I'd encourage people to think about meditation, because it can sound very woo-woo, and I certainly was repelled by it for a long time, is you are sitting down, say on a couch, to practice observing your thoughts and feelings and emotions for a very short period of time, so that for the rest of the day, you are less emotionally reactive. What this means is you are rehearsing, you are training. It's like going to the gym. So let's say you're training for a sport. All right, so you're an athlete in X. You go to the gym to do squats, to do this, this, and this, so that when you get on the playing field, you can perform better. It is exactly the same. You're rehearsing and training for your day. And then when you run into something that normally would trigger you, whether that's a certain type of email, whether that's an employee who has a habit that drives you insane, or you being behind in your schedule and then the line at Starbucks is longer than you would like, whatever it happens to be, the things that would normally cause you to get really tightly wound or explode or berate yourself or other people, you will then start to spot before you have the reaction. And then you say, okay, half a second of breathing, let me choose my response instead of being held hostage to these loops and triggers that we all have. Yeah. So that has been enormously, enormously helpful for me.
Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper, the journalist and news anchor, has spoken publicly about his daily meditation practice. He has said that he meditates for 20 minutes each morning and evening, which helps him to stay focused and calm while covering breaking news stories. Here are some excerpts from Anderson Cooper about meditation.
Our lives are filled with distractions. Email, Twitter, texting. We're constantly connected to technology, rarely alone with just our thoughts. Which is probably why there's a growing movement in America to train people to get around the stresses of daily life. It's a practice called mindfulness, and it basically means being aware of your thoughts, physical sensations, and surroundings.
Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld, the famous comedian, has also spoken publicly about his mindfulness practice. He has said that he spends time each day practicing transcendental meditation, which he says helps him to stay creative and focused in his work. Here are some excerpts from Jerry Seinfeld about transcendental meditation.
How could this possibly ever be anything but a bad kid and a rock and it's over? The whole thing is in the toilet. No, it's just, they're not. Who needs a diaper in 10 seconds that we can? Who's planning their life that badly? It's just, I know it's horrible to think that a company of such integrity would do something like that, but I just wanted to say that. Anyway, so I want to talk to you about TM, which I have now been doing 41 years. 41 years. I don't remember exactly how I started. It was some kid I knew. I had just gone to college, and we were still kind of in the flush of the feeling of the 60s, and I just wanted to try any new thing that I heard about. And so I went and I learned TM, and I do remember the very first time I did it, and I remember that I was up the entire night because I never felt that good before, and I had terrible acne. I think I was about 18, and it all just went away, and I became a world famous comedian. That's my story. That's the entire story of my life. And now here's the tragic part of my TM story. Slightly tragic. So I'm doing TM from 1972, and I started, and I didn't do the morning one. You're supposed to do it twice a day. And I stopped doing the morning one pretty early in me doing it because I didn't understand getting out of bed and then resting. I had trouble with that concept. To get out of bed, now rest. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I did it for a couple of months and then I just stopped, but I was very regular with my afternoon meditation. And when I was doing the TV series in which I was the star of the show, the executive producer, head writer, casting, and editing, 22 to 24 episodes on network television, network, 9 years, okay? That's a lot of work. And I'm a regular guy, pretty much. You know, I'm not one of these crazy people that has endless, boundless energy. I'm just a normal guy. But that was not a normal situation to be in. And so what I would do is every day when everybody would have lunch, I would do TM. And then we'd go back to work, and then I would eat while I was working because I had missed lunch. But that is how I survived the 9 years. It was that 20 minutes in the middle of the day to save me.
No.
Because, you know, and you also got to imagine, and I know everybody's life is hard and every job is hard, but I mean, when it's your name on the goddamn show, the pressure is, it's intense. And then the show got successful and everybody expected each week to be even better than the last. And it was a lot of pressure. And I loved every second of it, but it was a lot of pressure and a lot of work, and it was all great, but never could have accomplished it without TM. But
Conclusion. These are just a few examples of famous people who have incorporated mindfulness practices into their daily routines. Whether it's meditation, mindfulness exercises, or simply taking time to connect with oneself and the world around us, mindfulness offers a way to cultivate greater awareness and well-being in our lives. By practicing mindfulness, we can reduce stress, increase focus, and enhance our overall sense of purpose and fulfillment. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks for watching.